Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. June 16th, 2024. We got a heat dome, I guess is what they call it, coming our way. 95 degrees for, well, this is Sunday. Above 90 until next Sunday is what they're telling us. So this is a switchgrass field. You can see some switchgrass right there. We just completed a cattle drive, so the cows were all the way over top of that hill and all the way out at the road, and we drove them all the way over here. 90-degree heat is where I start to say, okay, we got to have some shade. I don't get too concerned about it. These girls have been out in the mid 80s here already. They're all slicked off and good as far as that goes, but they're getting ready to calve, and I really don't want heat stress on them for then. And some of you could say, well, our cows, especially south of here, they're in 90-degree heat all the time. Yeah, but your cows aren't East Central Ohio cows. 90 degrees is where I call it. Now, really, I should be paying attention to humidity. The humidity is pretty low. We're still looking in the 50s, so it's really not that bad. They don't really need to come here, but it just makes it a whole lot more comfortable. And this being Sunday, it's only supposed to go to 89 today. It's going to be 94 tomorrow, 96 by Friday. But I'm home, so this is when it had to happen. It was either today or Wednesday, because Wednesday's a holiday. But we'll just give them this small strip back to the trees every day, and then when I turn around, there'll be a strip out here in the open at night, and then we'll send them back to the trees during the day. Like I said, I'm not a fan of putting them in shade or having shade every day. It's just a mess, actually. I mean, that'll be a mess back there. In fact, this is 5.5 acres of switchgrass, and probably a third of an acre doesn't grow hardly anything because it's where we go for shade. And there's another field on in the trees there that we'll use if we have a summer, or when we have a summer that we have sustained heat in the 90s. We'll build a runway back and forth to the shade, and I'll run them down at night and bring them back during the day, or run them down during the day and bring them back at night. I guess I might have said that backwards here earlier too, but they do, especially when it gets hot like this, they do most of their grazing in the first couple hours in the morning and the last couple hours in the night, and then all night. So we'll just leave them with access. Here, I don't mind moving them, but as we get later and if we get more heat, we'll build actual runways, and we'll run up on that hill even. I've grazed the furthest paddock from the trees and made them walk back for shade during the day, and basically just give them the opportunity to go to shade then. This one, like I said, we'll force them, but just what we do. I don't like it, and I'm a proponent of it. If we've got good water, which we do, close water, which we do, we really don't need to. But here again, we're just about to calve, and I don't want any more stress on them than I have to, because I don't want those calves to be affected. So it's kind of cool. We brought them all the way over here. They pretty much ran most of the way, and yet put their heads down and started grazing in this switchgrass field. Now I've kind of pushed them toward the shade, and they might stay there for a minute. The other key point to this is the water trough is right here. So we'll try to always keep the water trough out from the shade. Otherwise, that's all they do. At least here, they got to walk out and back, and hopefully leave a little bit more manure out here in the field than all of it back there underneath the shade tree. So like I said, I'm not a fan. Those of you that are watching this south of here may say 90 degrees is nothing. It isn't for cows like that. And to be honest, we're working on breeding some more heat tolerance, and really heat tolerance is more of a problem here than cold tolerance. We don't get that cold very often, but we get a couple days below zero. But as long as they grow a hair coat and slick it off, I mean, we've looked at South Poles and some other things. I think South Poles are a little too heat tolerant for me. I'd be looking at something. I'd look at the South Poles, honestly, if it wasn't for they already have Hereford in them. But I'm a purebred guy, and then purebred to crossbred, I like 3 cross systems, and and to take a South Pole and then breed it to a, yeah, that was a thistle, buddy. Breed it to a Hereford, you're not getting a whole lot of heterosis because they've already got Hereford in them. So we look at other breeds to make that work. So anyway, shade on a 90-degree day, and they'll be here for a week hopefully, and then they'll go back down below 90. You know, the question, it's just like a drought. You never know when it's going to end. So you do what you got to do, and there'll come a point where we'll have to graze those fields that are so far away from shade. But for right now, we can make this shade work and take them out during the nighttime. With that, I'll say we'll see you next time.